Oh, and that, yeah. So just, oh, you have to, so join up there and then join here or record here. I would say. I don't know if they're gonna modify the. Consider that wins both of us. So it's tough. You're on time. Don't give me a stand. I'll use that for everything. Makes sense. Yeah. 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 Okay. Uh, no. Sort of do that. Yes. Yeah. This wasn't supposed to happen. So it's really well. Doctor said it's a lot more fun having clients with this year. It's all good news this year. Last year was all bad news. Well, we don't, yes. Ron, when you're ready. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the October 6, 2025 Meridian Transportation Commission meeting. It is 3:30, and we will start with a roll call. Mr. Ballard.
Present.
Shoemaker.
Here.
Mr. Lancaster.
Present.
I am present. Mr. Hopkins.
Present.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Jared Smith is online. Thank you. Tom Leclerc.
Present.
And the last name on the agenda, I understand, is our new student member who has not yet been confirmed by the city council. So look forward to that. Ex officios, Kelly Bruner.
Here.
Austin Miller. Miranda Carson. Doesn't appear to be yet. Kate Dahl is here. Justin Price. Sergeant Smith. Tishra Murray.
Here.
Thank you. Brian McClure and Caleb Hood are both present. Okay. First item is the adoption of the agenda. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lancaster, second by Mr. Hopkins. Does staff have any changes? They say no. Any discussion? All in favor of adopting the agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? It is done. Old business is the update of the transportation projects. And if you have had an opportunity to look at the agenda or the packet today, you will see that it looks slightly or a lot different from what we're used to. And I'm going to ask Brian to explain to us what he's done.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
excuse me.
Skipped one.
We adopted the agenda, but did we take up the approval of the minutes?
I skipped them. You're totally correct. Let's back up one moment, Brian, if we would. Thank you, sir. The minutes of the August 4 and August 28 meetings are presented for approval. Commissioners? Comments, questions? I have one, and this probably is for everyone. Under staff communications on the August 4, we had an item called Center Point Commercial Traffic Circulation Safety. Refresh my memory, did we resolve that, or did we need to do anything more, or is that a done, one and done item?
Commissioner Steed,
Yes, sir.
that was a one and done.
Okay,
So the mayor's office wanted feedback from the TC. We collected your feedback and passed it on to the mayor's office.
okay, all right. So we won't look for that one to come back again. That's all that I had. We would look for a motion from one of the members for approval of both minutes, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hopkins,
Second.
second by Mr. Lewis. Further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Ballard, keeping me straight. Don't stop. Okay, now, Mr. McClure, the format's changed. Why'd you do that?
Why did you do that?
That's not a complaint, it's a question.
Commissioners, the reason for the change was staff was maintaining three different lists of projects. Heather and I had been looking into some significant discrepancies between the lists, and we implemented a new tracking system that is just one system for all projects, all project managers. The reporting out that information, it can be customized, so it doesn't have to look exactly like the way it's presented to you right now, but the information is coming out of a sort of a one-stop shop for all that information. Now it's not sort of made up on the fly and take these minutes and this text for this project and then redo it in a different way for a different use. For example, internal staff communication or for coordination from the ACHD. It's just one thing for everyone now.
Right off the bat, one question I have regarding that, in the future, can we look forward to having changes to each item that have occurred being bolded, so we don't have to read every word of the whole thing every time?
It's difficult, Commissioner. It's difficult to bold. There is a status update field. I can make that more prominent, so you can see when the last status update was, and then I can ask others who update the system to also make sure that in their updates, in the updated section, they reference the date to sort of match when they last did a change. So we can try to track it better internally, and I can make more stronger efforts to highlight the last update status information in there. But highlighting text is it's all manual. It comes out of a database.
Okay, commissioners' comments on the format change and/or questions, comments on any item in there?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hopkins?
does this mean that we'll be going through each one of these projects each time? Because before they were just going over the bolded ones. Now we can't separate what's going on when. Just curious how we're going to review that or know what we should be looking for.
If you'll bear with me for 1 second, I'll share the screen and I'll see if I can help clarify. So on the screen here, you'll see a project. It's the ACHD Transportation Construction Section 2025 Meridian Downtown Pavement and Pedestrian Plan. If you scroll down to the bottom, currently, you can see last status check and a date. So I can make that, I can put that in different location. I can highlight the text itself since it's a separate sort of field. It's not, it's pulling it out of a database and saying, when was the last update by? So it's an all or nothing sort of thing. So I could highlight this in some fashion and make that more readable or put it in a different location for you. It's just highlighting specific sections of a text that's all one entry that's difficult to do. So if you want that last status check, call something else, put somewhere else, or emphasize in some other fashion, I can look at doing that. But that should tell you still whether something's been updated recently or not. You shouldn't have to look through all of them if you're only looking for the most recent data since the last meeting.
Mr. Hopkins?
I was just curious how we were going to review these. So that's fine. But if you could bold the last status check, I don't know. That's not going to get the kind of information that we could we could get out of the way it was presented the last time, because you would have just the section that has changed as bolded, but that's fine. I understand simplifying the whole nature of presenting this and not doing it in 3 different ways. It's just going to be hard to review here in the meeting what specific changes happened to a project in the last month. Does that make sense?
Commissioner Hopkins, yes, it makes sense. Keep in mind, just for context, that many of those bold highlights before were wrong. Many of them were old and not updated very frequently. So I understand on the surface, it looks sort of like not happening so well, but it wasn't being done very well before, if that helps. So
I did notice that some of that was old news, but okay, that's fine. That answers my question.
The commissioner's comments.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Ballard.
so Mr. McClure, so if we go to the, on page 8, the last item, ACHD Transportation Construction 2026 Residential Pavement Pedestrian Improvements. And I see a second paragraph that is bolded called Project Updates.
You mean the heading?
The heading.
Okay.
Is that the relevant information about that project then? I mean, other than the preceding paragraph describes what the improvements are. But the project update, is that the current status?
Commissioner Ballard, I'm not sure I'm entirely tracking here. Project updates are staff notes, basically, where we update, include anything that we're aware of or going on that's relevant for you, internal staff, mayor's office, others. So that's where we sort of track what's been going on.
Because as I went through this, I just looked at project updates and I said, well, that kind of gives me a sense of where this project is at. I didn't know how it had changed over time, but that's the only thing I had focused on.
Mr. Ballard, it does not appear that the bolded project update paragraph is the latest update. For example, on page 14, Ustick 10 Mile to Black Cat, there's a large project update section, but a lot of that information is months and months old compared to what it was when I drove it coming down here this afternoon. So you can't rely upon project updates. Is not a latest information. It is what we know, what we knew when we knew it. Mr. Hood, would you like to jump into this?
Yeah, I was just gonna, because
try to
I'm,
help us?
and on that one, thank you, Mr. Chair. On that one, I'm one that uses this and is supposed to be providing project updates. So it's in chronological order though, right? So if you took the project updates bolded heading and started from the bottom and worked your way up, some of that should look familiar. So the last note is more recent, and you can see a lot of times I'll even date it. 825 Black Cat Road is open north of Ustick, right? So you know that was from August. So we go down to that, it's going to be September's update. So you could look at the project updates, just read the last part first if you really want the update. First part is going to be when the project kicked off and has some basic information. And again, so it's just in chronological order. It's not just the most recent stuff. It's the running list of all of the project updates over time. So anyways, that's how it works. It's status updates, months and months long, but look at the last bullet or two or whatever, that'll give you the most recent information.
Mr. Chair. Caleb, real quick. So what triggers, when it says last status check, what's going to occur? What happens within the system that creates a new date? Is someone just opening and looking at it, or is some information being added to it?
So a couple of things happen. So if I attend a project team meeting or the PM calls me and says, here's an update, then I'll put it in the database and change that date. So whenever I make a note, I have to manually go in there and say, I put something in project status on this date. If I don't do that often enough, I don't know what the timeline is, every 60 days or something. If I don't touch a project, I get email spams every day. Hey, you need to update this project. You need to update this project. And so some of them are just like No news. Nothing's happened. Update the date. So you stop spamming my email box to update it. So sometimes the project status update stuff, the last update's going to be pretty not significant. But that's how you do it. You manually have to go in and drop down the date that you're updating the project.
So something will be written. So if there's one of these that says last status check October 1st, something within that was actually written.
Yep.
It wasn't, you just opened it and it was fine and closed out of it.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyone else? For one, I can appreciate what you're trying to do to save yourselves from what you've been going through. The good part on this side of the dais is that these people have been looking at these things and relying upon the bolded part to bring them up to date. And if it's bolded and I read it, and wait a minute, I don't even remember what this project is, then I can go back up and go through the detail of it to catch up. So we'll work with it and over time, see if we can live with it and maybe back with some more can you, can't you questions possibly. I've got a couple of notes that I wanted to ask questions about. Could either you, Mr. Hood, or Mr. McClure, explain the phasing on the Linder Road, Overland to Franklin? I know it's 3 phases, but I'm lost in my mind where they lie.
Mr. Chair, what page are you on?
11, sorry, bottom of
All right.
11.
So phase 1 is going on right now. It's essentially the overpass and the work at Overland.
It's not, it's just the work between Overland and the highway, correct? And the interstate. It's phase 1?
Yes. Yeah. What did I say?
You said the overpass.
The overpass. Yeah.
Is the overpass in 1 or 2?
Well, so we are getting into 2. Yes, you're right. There's some lead up work to that bridge structure, but
Right.
and then that will be phase 2. I don't think there's a third phase.
Maybe
Did I
not.
put a third phase in that?
Mr. Chairman, if you look at the bottom of page 11, the
Okay.
Linder Road Overland to I-84 description has phase 1 and 2 in it. And then on the next page, on page 12, you have a separate project, Linder Road Overpass to Franklin. So I'm confused also whether the 2 phases described in the first project and the second project is the second project, a third phase. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So, well, and
It's
so
not
sorry
just
for that.
me.
So sorry for some of that confusion. And I don't know exactly how Brian's got this set up to pull some of the information. Some projects, and I don't know if that's the case with this one or not, will even have a phase for design, say, and then when design's done, we'll check the completed box in the database, so it is done. I don't know if that's is the other one construction too? Does it say construction? If you can scroll back up. Yeah, that one says construction. Overland, so that does say Overland to I-84, so that makes phase 1, I could do a better job, I guess. Because really that is only 1 phase, and then the second phase is the next project name listed there. It's really 1 project, but 2 phases. I need to pick one or the other. Either have 1 name with 2 phases or 2 phases and 1 name.
I don't think we care as long as we can understand and track it
Right.
in our heads as to what.
I mean, this first one, it essentially has all of it if I were to just change the project description to go all the way to Franklin Road. So,
If one of y'all would make a note,
yeah.
TC confused and think about it, we'd appreciate it.
Well, so let me just, again, verbally, and then I can clean up the database later. So the 1 phase that's in construction now, we're actually having ACHD's project manager, Michelle White, will be at the Linder Road Overpass Task Force next Monday. So I'll have more of an update for you next month. We haven't met for several months now because it's just been in construction. So I really don't have much of an update, but I know it's progressing nicely. And I'm providing an update to the state because some of those funds are through the strategic initiatives. So I owe them a report on how we're doing through ACHD. But that's essentially phase one, and then phase two will go all the way to the Franklin Road intersection, excuse me. And it should be basically seamless. Just check my notes, but it should be done in 2027. No, I wasn't sure if that was calendar year or fiscal year, but end of 27, end of 26, early 27. I'll clean it up for next month. I apologize.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask Mr. Hood a question?
You may, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Hood, in working with this, I also take it that, like on page 8, the first project up there, you have a category called Design 2024. So I'm taking that's when it's been in its design stage, or as I read it, planning stage. The next column is ROW 2025. So right-of-ways were obtained in 2025, and construction will occur during 2026. And then the status is a description of what has taken place to get to this point in time. So I'm thinking that initial line is quite informative itself as to what the current, if I'm going to look at this, because I can read down there and get like the third project. It's not going to construction to 2027. So I think that's also a way for me to sort out what is most germane for October of 2025.
Yeah, I know change is hard, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Ballard. But we really are trying to portray that information where if you don't recall the project, it's got all the information for you anyways. That project status part, again, I think maybe we can get into this habit of looking at the last status update, saying, okay, has anything changed the last couple of months, and read from the bottom up. But yes, you're reading that correctly, and maybe it's most important to you what's going into design or what's in construction. But it's there, and you can kind of look for those dates that have a 25 date or 26 date.
No, that was a compliment on my. Thank you.
Someone, while we're at this, bottom of page 14 is the Wells Street Bridge number 1224. Over 5 Mile Creek is part of ACHD's bridge maintenance program. I give up. Where is Bridge 1224? What street? And if you know this off the top of your head, good on you.
I do, because this is my project,
Cool.
Mr. Commissioner. So it's actually on, the first time I drove out there, I didn't even know this area existed, to be quite frank, but right on the east side of where Woodbridge subdivision is, there's several large open empty lots. So if you take off of Eagle Road west, basically across from St. Luke's, if you take, I believe it's Magic View Drive, you take that, and where you would normally go straight to go into Woodbridge subdivision, if you just turn to the south, it's that section of road down there, Wells Street.
Is the bridge that's being discussed.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. One moment, I'm still looking for notes here. Probably a question from Mr. Hood regarding the item at the bottom of 16, the I-84 eastbound auxiliary lane. The question is staff or anyone pushing to extend that back to 10 Mile to the west?
No.
So
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm all for it at whatever, but it'd be really nice if it started at 10 Mile and went east.
So, Mr. Chair, I've talked to ITD staff in the past about Linder Road and some of those potentials there of the scope of work on this. That was a few months ago. I don't know if Brian's had any other contact. I don't think he's had any of those types of conversations before. But I did bring that up with him a few months ago, I'll say, maybe it was a couple months ago in the recent past. So, and the description you see there is
It's what it
what they're
currently-
rolling with. Yeah.
Well, the old squeaking wheel method, maybe. Okay, that's all I've got. Commissioners, anything else on project updates? Brian, again, I started to say we don't have a problem with what you've done. We got a problem trying to get used to what you've done, and we'll work with it till we do. But you hear some of our concerns or questions about how this is going to work, and we'll work our way through it. Thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda. Commissioner Leclerc, the
Yeah.
bylaws discussion, please. You know, bring us up to date.
Yes, we had,
Is your mic on?
yes,
Get a little closer to it if you would.
I will. Okay. Our committee met to review bylaws on August 26th. And I submitted some minutes after that that are in the commission packet. We looked at this section by section, and I'll go through the items we agreed to amend or are proposing to amend, and we will cover that. And so here goes. In Article 1, and you all, maybe we need to have the proposed bylaws up on the screen. Brian,
Page 20 of the packet.
yeah. Item 3. Well, page 1. Oh, this is it. Okay. So if we scroll up, as I read through these proposals, we do have them there, but I was thinking we could see the document, but that's okay. So
Brian, you're on 23. Can you get on 20? Please.
as we talk about these, you can see what's there now by doing it this way. This is
On back to Article 1. You're almost there. Thank you. Right there. Is that what you
So-
want?
So yes, thank you. So where it has the insert name of commission, we put in Meridian Transportation Commission. That was the Article 1 amendment. And then Article 2, officers. Section 4, in vacancy. We strike the word in the first sentence. Article 1 still, are we Article 2, so a little higher.
Bottom of Article 2. There you go. Got it.
So that, at the end of that sentence, special election may be held at any time to fill vacancy of, we strike, proposing to strike office and replace it with the chair or vice chair. And then Article 3, meetings in Section 4. Right, and then at the end of the section, you proposing to add the following sentence. Agenda items may be added to an agenda during a meeting upon a majority vote of the members of the commission present. And we're going to have to come back to that recommendation in just a few minutes. But that's what the committee proposed. And then in Article 5, adoption and effective date. We insert and replace it, well, with whatever date. We want to just obviously insert the date that when the commission votes for this. If it's today, it'd be October 6th,
It'll
2020.
be when the council votes.
Oh, is that right? Is
Yeah,
that-
it would be when the council approves the changes.
This says commission adopted the foregoing bylaws at its regular meeting on.
I'll leave that up to legal then.
And then, yeah, this is our adoption. Oh.
Yeah, you're correct. So the first date back on,
Okay.
at the beginning would be the effective that the council approves it. And the one in 5 would be the date that we agree. Correct?
Yes. Let's, I have two, but I think are typos. And then there's some others. We'll get to them. This is a sidebar, before I go to that. The old bylaws had language about a 2-hour minute for meetings of the commission. And I know some of us like that. The committee did not vote to put that language back in. And so that might be something the full commission might want to do, but we didn't, we could discuss it if you all want to. But we did not recommend to keep that. And then we voted on it. Okay, so then in Article 3, Section 1, this, it says, where does it say it? Oh, now see, I don't see it now. So what our copy had, shall provide, shall issue.
In the it's in the 5th sentence.
Oh, I missed, I just read the first. Okay.
The commission shall issue notice to the commissioners.
So I just personally, I think we should just strike issue notice or strike shall issue, sorry,
Which one do you want to strike?
shall issue. Instead, say shall provide.
Okay.
Strike shall issue. So then it would read, designated city staff member assigned to the commission shall provide notice to the commission not less than 48 hours, no more than 30 hours prior to the meeting.
That is, there's another typo right there too. 48 hours nor more instead of no more. You see that last sentence?
Yeah, that does.
There's a typo there too.
It seems like two different. Shall provide to the commission not less than 48 or more than 30.
Six of one, half a dozen of the other?
You could say, well, no. I don't think that is as. It should be not more than 30, so not less than 48, not more than 30, yeah.
Mhm.
So that should be a not, I think, instead of a not. Although it's not really. It's just sort of olding.
That's not in his,
I don't know if
is
it's
something different.
wrong, but I think it'd make more conventional sense if it said not more than 30. So we'll include that as a typo revision. And then we had this weird section, Article 3, Section 8, yeah, voting. Thank you. It says voting shall be audible, semicolon, written, comma, anonymous. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Yeah, it's the last sentence of section 8. So I propose to reword that so that it says, voting may be by voice vote, by roll call vote, or by anonymous written ballot. Leaves it to us. And it's just, I just think that sentence is odd, so I'd propose we change that. So that makes 3 typos. So let's see. We have the, I guess we'll maybe get a motion to get this started. I think so. And then we can talk about it.
We can talk about it and then make a motion. How do you want to do it?
Well, if we're gonna do that, then it's an agenda. But, so, the city attorney is nearby and they don't like one of our recommendations. Back to Article 3, meeting, Section 4. If we could go back. And so we added the sentence, agenda items may be added to the agenda during a meeting upon majority vote of the members of the commission present. You know, we do approve the agenda at every meeting, but I think the city attorney is going to tell us that we cannot do this.
I've already been told that years ago.
Is that right?
Yes, because it's a public hearing requirement that an agenda be noticed. And I think it is consistent at least 7 days before. So anyone who wants to attend as a member of the public sees the agenda, which keeps a body or an agency or a commission from bringing up a whole new item. So, Ms. Murray, I jumped ahead. I apologize, but that
No,
one,
you're correct.
Okay.
And then there is a 48-hour, if you have a last minute under the open meetings law, you can repost a proposed agenda within that 48-hour before the meeting window. But this is actually already covered in Idaho code, so our bylaws can't supersede that.
So the proposed additional sentence cannot be added.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Claire,
Omit that.
I tried to do that because I thought it was kind of fun, or not fun, but something comes up and you go, I think we ought to discuss this. And that's where I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Well, it sounded like it seems like, I don't know. I won't go into the weeds.
At the risk of muddying the water further, a question for legal. Isn't there some provision where upon declaration of an emergency and just stating what the reason is, things can be added?
It is, but we discourage adding that to the bylaws because it's extremely rare.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leclerc, let me propose that you go back and walk, just bring them up one at a time, ask for discussion or comment. And then when we get through those, then we can get a motion to do whatever we're leaning toward. Can we do that?
All right, yeah. Is there I would accept any other suggestion.
Mr. Chairman, I had a comment on this issue here. So it's a comment or perhaps a question. I understood that we cannot add action items at the meeting, but we can add discussion items. Is that true or false?
Legal?
We should properly notice discussion or action.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, yeah,
So-
go back and walk through your list.
I will, and I'll I think I'll have it be a motion and then
Okay,
then we can all discuss it and amend it if we need to, stuff Robert's rules. So I move that based on our discussions today and the recommendations of the Ordinance and Development Subcommittee meeting, that the following amendments be adopted by the commission to this proposed bylaws document that is in our packet. And that in Article 1, under purpose, we strike insert name of commission and replace it with Meridian Transportation Commission. In Article 2, officers, Section 4, vacancy, strike the word office and replace it with the chair or vice chair. In Article 5, adoption and effective date, for now, we would replace it with October 6th, 2025. And then we had the typo changes that we found. Yeah, that's
Article 3, Section 1.
Thank you. Article 3, Section 1, we would strike the words shall issue. And I think I need to see what sentence it was. We go to that?
It's in the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line, not sentence, but fifth line.
Which area?
Article 3, Section 8. Okay. So oh, no, that's the second one. Sorry. But that, in this one, Article 3, Section 8, we would strike the sentence, voting shall be audible, written, anonymous, and proxy voting shall not be permitted. And we would replace that with voting may be by voice vote, by roll call vote, or by anonymous written ballot. Do we ever do proxy voting?
Well, it says it shall not be permitted.
Oh, so do we need to say that? I guess it could be another set. So then, just to include it, the last sentence of the section would be proxy voting should not be permitted. So the second to last sentence would be voting may be by voice vote, comma, by roll call vote, comma, or by anonymous written ballot. And then we would add the last sentence, proxy voting shall not be permitted. And so then, so that was that revision. And then in Article 3, Section 1, it says the shall provide, shall issue.
Just strike shall issue.
Yeah, in the second sentence, strike the word shall issue.
That's your list?
That is my list of recommendations to revise the bylaws.
That was a motion.
Correct.
Do we have a second?
On a discussion about the 2-hour.
We needed a second before we get into working the motion. And I'm not suggesting, if nobody seconds it, it's okay. Do we have a second?
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
Mr. Lancaster seconded the motion. Now we can discuss. Mr. Hopkins.
I'd like to keep the 2-hour time limit because we can ramble on sometimes about things like we are.
Like
And,
this. Yeah, I am.
and if we don't have a time limit that we have to extend, things can get out of hand. So I propose we add back the 2-hour time limit.
Anyone else agree? with that?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
So I take it, and Ms. Murray can weigh in on this. This is a generic set of bylaws for any commission for the city of Meridian. Now, with respect to Article 3, Section 1, fifth line that talks about commission shall issue notice to the commission. I think Ms. Murray recognizes that that is a typo or a grammar error. But the other commissions, I think you need one word or one phrase that fits all the other commissions. So I think Ms. Murray and her group.
That's not our problem. The others, I mean.
Ms. Murray and her group's going to hammer out the correction for that typo.
Yes, but we appreciate the feedback on these. And if you want to add in something specialized like the 2-hour time limit, we're also fine with that.
Mr. Chairman,
Lewis.
I'll start in with some comments. Let's start with Article 3, Section 8, please, the one we just talked about a little bit. First off, I'm opposed to changing this last sentence. It says that vote, as it's written, it says voting shall be audible. And then it says what things are prohibited, written, anonymous, and proxy are prohibited, correct? And then in the sidebar notes at the end, it says that we want to add an anonymous written ballot. I think that's against open meeting laws. So I would say that we should not change Article 3, Section 8 at all. And then also in Article 3,
Let me make sure you're,
Yes.
you're pointing out that after audible, there's a semicolon,
yes, there is,
and that written, anonymous, and proxy are all not permitted.
correct. So I don't think that the last sentence needs to be altered at all.
Yes, sir.
I think it was misread when we were going through that and didn't understand what the semicolon was doing. Maybe we forgot since third grade what it does. But I think we would agree that that fits. Voting shall be audible, period,
Mhm.
written, anonymous, and that maybe makes more sense to those of us that
Yeah,
with Pennsylvania education, I suppose. I don't know.
yeah, semicolons, the Oxford comma, and two spaces after a period. I will die on those hills.
Good stuff.
All right.
So,
Well, Mr. Chair,
so are you proposing that the semicolon be changed to a period and written be capitalized?
Well, I'm okay with us leaving the sentence as it is,
Okay,
or,
right.
or you can put a period and, you know,
Just-
either way is fine with me, just,
Chairman?
Yes, sir.
So I'm 3/4 in agreement with Mr. Lewis, because I can point you to any number of Supreme Court cases, and one in particular where a bundle of money was forfeited because the placement of a comma in a phrase. So I agree with Mr. Lewis that voting shall be audible, semicolon. Written, comma, anonymous, delete the comma. So it should say written, comma, anonymous, and proxy voting shall not be permitted. Because if the intent is to say those three things are prohibited, written, anonymous, and proxy, take that comma out. And I'm just relying on some Supreme Court opinions.
yeah. That's my Oxford comma, that's you're getting rid of. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have another thing in Section 8. So in the middle of section 8, it talks about members present. I talked about this in our August 4th meeting. I think we need a definition of what present is, in person or virtual. I think either one is fine. Like we have one of our members who's virtual today. Does that mean that he won't be able to vote after these new bylaws get passed?
Legal is Jared Smith, who's on whatever we're using here, Zoom or the cousin Teams. Is he present today or not?
Yes.
He's present.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I think my understanding of proxy voting is the delegation of a voting power to someone else specifically.
Correct.
Correct.
True.
But you are present in this meeting today, even though you're physically somewhere else. Is what legal tells us.
Yeah, that was my question because I think present is vague, in my opinion.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I
Well,
cut you off, Mr. Lewis.
Let's finish this one a little bit. Legal is the way it's written good enough?
I think it is.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Would in attendance be more precise than present? No?
No, because that might even confuse it further,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Trying.
So, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
if you go to page 1 of the Transportation Commission meeting, specifically provides for the ability to join this meeting via an online Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
So we've already got it out there that you either can sit in this room or you can be on a Zoom call and still be present.
Legal says on Zoom he's present.
Okay, that's fine with me, Mr. Chairman.
Other comments, questions about anything else? And then we need to resolve these and pull them into some kind of conclusion.
Mr. Chairman, I do have another comment, Article 2, Section 3 on nominations. I have two questions about this section. The first is the last half of the sentence saying that the sitting vice chair will be automatically nominated for office of chair. And I ask why. And then the second part of my comment here is it's not very clear on how the nomination process works. I mean, there isn't any detail of how the nominations work, like the chair will open up for nominations, who can make nominations, and then how are the nominations closed, the vote is taken, stuff like that.
I'm going to throw that to legal. That's their sentence.
I think it's left like that on purpose. The vice chair shall perform the duties. Oh, hold on. When you're switching spots, they just want to encourage movement. So the sitting vice chair would become nominated to be chair. That's something that you guys will have to decide if that works for you, and I can bring it back to legal if it doesn't, or if it does, that's great.
That's fine, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman and Ishra, with this, for section 3 nominations, could it just be said that nominations would be proposed pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order? I mean, do we have to have an automatic nomination?
Oh, for the procedure? Sure.
So would it be a possibility to replace that sentence at the annual election of officers? Well, not replace it, but at the annual election of officers, comma, the nominations for officers, for vice chair and chair would be pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order or something?
We could suggest that change, sure.
To my memory, we're working under Robert's Rules of Order anyway.
Correct.
Well, I don't know if we even need section 3 on nominations, but I'm just trying to craft something that would replace the automatic nomination.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
That's all I got.
I actually brought this up when we discussed this at the Planning and Zoning Commission. And essentially the consensus and the advice from Kurt, our legal counsel, there was that, the vice chair is able to decline the nomination. There's not a forced kind of, it's almost to ensure, in the terms, if I'm remembering correctly, that it's to ensure that there's at least a nomination that is there. But if there's,
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand the last part, Jared.
sorry. So my understanding from what was explained to me at that Planning and Zoning Commission discussion was that it's more to ensure that there's a nomination at all, but that the vice chair can decline the nomination for chair. If, for example, if you, Mr. Chair, are seeking or open to be nominated again, and the vice chair doesn't want to contest that, they can withdraw or decline the nomination. So that's how it was just explained to me. I don't feel strongly about it one way or the other. If the commission wants clearer or better language, that's totally fine. Just passing on some information that was relayed to me to help inform the conversation.
Other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I like Mr. Leclerc's suggestion that nominations follow Robert Rules of Order, but my question is, and I haven't reviewed the Robert Rules of Orders, does Robert Rules of Order even address the procedure for nominations for a group that adopts Robert Rules of Order? Comes a moot point if it doesn't.
Mr. Chair, I was going to see if Tishra wanted to, but I was looking that up. There's actually a couple different ways you can do it in Robert's Rules of Order. Nominations from the floor or open nominations is another way. So if you wanted to either supersede whatever is there with the vice chair automatically being nominated, but you could clarify that nominations will be taken either from the floor or open nominations. Those are both terms used. There are other methods. Nominations by the chair, you could put it on the chair if you wanted to. I don't think that's where you're going. Like this is, I'm just telling you the one that most represents historically what we've done is open nominations.
I think we kind of shrugged finally. This is the language. We're going to do
Anyone else? Okay, we've got to find some way to get through this, or we will be finding out that at 5:30 we have to leave. I don't want to get caught up in trying to amend a motion. Can,
Withdraw it and restate it. Excuse me.
Mr. Leclerc, could I ask you to withdraw your motion and then let's walk through the items and see where we've got agreement and see if we can get some of these things in the book? Who was the second on that?
I'll go along with that.
Okay, all right. Let's go back and if I mess up in figuring out the order we're going through, tell me. The first one that was brought up was on page 20 of our packet inserting the name of the Meridian Transportation Commission in Article 1 purpose. Anyone have a problem with that? Y'all are easy, okay. The second one, if I can find my page. Help me, Tom, where am I? Article 2, Section 4, right. Of chair or vice chair. Yeah. Instead of just the word office at the end of that first sentence of Article 2, Section 4. Anyone have a problem with that? Okay. So for Tom, I want you to keep up with which ones we're saying okay, so when you come back and make a motion, you can get them right. Okay, number 3, we jumped to Article 5 and putting in the effective date of October 6, 2025. We okay? Number 4 was back at Article 3, line 5, to take out the words shall issue. We good so far? Okay. Number 5 on my scratching was Article 3, Section 8, regarding voting, and I am unclear exactly where y'all want to land on that. So if someone would help me, I'd appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I think there were two things that were brought up. One was to leave the sentence as is alone. And then Mr.
Ballard.
I'm sorry, I'm having a brain cramp. Yes, Mr. Ballard said that we should perhaps voting shall be audible, period. No, that wasn't what you're.
He was just, I think he just took out the comma after anonymous.
The only thing I suggest.
Oh, okay. That's probably the easiest solution, is just to leave it alone.
I'm getting affirmative nodding. Okay. And that's all you had, but then Mr. Hopkins wanted to retain the 2-hour time limit, which means putting it back into these boilerplate proposed. I'm sorry?
You make a note that it was in length of meetings. Well, you made I've been looking for it ever since I said that, but on where that's at, because I couldn't find it in the current one that's on here.
That would probably be a new section.
Where was it in the original? Okay.
May I, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
may I propose then that the 2-hour limit, it's Article 3, and it becomes a Section 9. I mean, that's kind of out of order, but just becomes a Section 9, so you don't change the numbering.
Yeah.
That's where I would propose to insert it.
Yes, we could try and craft something.
I'm seeing affirmatives to one direction. How about the other direction? You'd vote no? That's okay. I'm just trying to figure out where we are here. You wanna- Okay, okay. I'm seeing more favors than non-favors.
We can always vote and extend it when we need to. We're doing is giving everybody kind of an, hey, I should be done by this time. Not 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay, so if you can put all of that in a motion, I think we may be able to get to a conclusion on this. Including adding a section 9. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hopkins. Discussion.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Ballard.
I don't want to be a sticky wick,
Oh, go on.
but for the purpose of the notes or the minutes, Mr. Leclerc's first revision is Article 1 on page 20. The second one, and I'm going by your chicken scratches, number 2 is Article 2, Section 4. His third change in his motion is an Article 4 adoption effective date is October 6, 2025. His fourth change is there at Article 2, Section 1, that to
No.
strike the shell issue.
Article 3.
Article 3, Section 1, thank you. And then per the chicken scratch, if I can use that, 5 is insert the previous 2-hour time limit. Those 5 changes would track with anybody reading the minutes.
We're good?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
to further clarify, the motion does not make any changes to section 8 in Article 3. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion. Legal, before they vote, are we good? We're giving you anything you can't live with?
No, those are all good. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Done. Thank you all. Thank you, subcommittee. All right, next item on the agenda is the Woodbridge subdivision traffic concerns, a new business action item. Ooh, Mr. McClure, who's going to jump in the pond on this one?
Commissioner Steed, I'm not sure who wants to lead the discussion. I can say the commission received some public testimony in their packet last month, and there was a request to add it to the agenda this month. I did reach out to ACHD and police department. They included some comments. I'm sorry, that's Pine. Yeah, it's just the comments in the packet as you were provided last month. So I'm not sure what you want to do with it. I think the mayor's office would appreciate some discussion on it, though.
On page 24 of our packet, Mayor Simerson in an email to Bet Monteith stated, as your document also includes some immediate recommendations that our Transportation Commission could evaluate in the midterm, you may hear from staff about a separate conversation focused on the issue. So let's do this the easy way. Commission, what are your desires?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Ballard.
on page 24, It talks about your attachments, but the attachments are not identified. But I took it to mean that over on pages 43 and 44, may be the attachment or the three concepts.
Mr. Chair,
Am I going down the
Mr.
wrong rabbit hole?
Mr. McClure.
Mr.
You see where I went?
Mr. Ballard, the Woodbridge subdivision, aka Snorting Bowl section immediately after the email is what they provided to the city.
Pages 26, wait. Through 29, I believe. Yeah. So those 26 to 29, Mr. Ballard, are the pertinent pages for the item we're on.
Okay. And if I read that, there's a general discussion about one, closing off the subdivision and not allowing any other streets to be built at or near Woodbridge. Now, if there's more detail there, I'm open up. I'd say, okay, what are we supposed to take from that? Because I don't see a final recommendation or what it is that we're going to comment on.
Pages 26 through 29 is an undated memorandum from the Woodbridge subdivision representatives, I believe, to the city council. At some previous point. Mr. McClure, want to help me here?
Commissioner Steed, yes, they sent it to everyone at city council as well as some others, including others.
So this is not a City of Meridian staff document. It is a subdivision input document, I believe. Mr. Lancaster.
Mr. Chairman, I've been around this commission long enough that you can almost tell the time of when Woodbridge cut through comes around again. I think this is our fourth or so time tackling this. And I'm not sure that we have anything new. So for me to have any substantive conversation about this, it may be no surprise to you that I would like to see data, right? So there was pretty substantive data back a while ago as far as volume, speeds, crashes, and without any update to those data sets, we can't make any comparison or have any conversation to come up with anything different. So, as presented, the arguments of Woodbridge subdivision, they're kind of conjecture without providing any data. So they say the issue is much worse. Well, is it? How do we know, right? So, yeah, I don't have anything to discuss here, anything to change this, unless we have something to compare with what we've seen in the past. Further, in the past, ACHD has offered to provide some traffic calming measures, and the Woodbridge community was unwilling to accept those. So until I see some willingness to accept some of the ACHD policy measures, I'm not sure that there's really anything to consider otherwise. When I look at what they're asking, they're asking two things: either push the problem to somebody else, push it to Commissioner Ballard actually, or they basically want to make a public road into a gated private entrance, which doesn't seem appropriate either. So to me, this isn't one to touch unless there's some data that shows otherwise.
Brunner, any new data? Well, recent data?
Mr. Chair, I spoke with John Wasson, who, just like Commissioner Lancaster, has been involved with this for some time. I spoke with him on Thursday. We had a phone call discussing this, and what he told me is that there was a speed study done in February of this year that indicated, as they have in the past, that specifically on bowstring, thresholds were met to warrant traffic calming. Additionally,
I'm sorry, they were met?
they were met. That's correct. Yes. So bowstring, traffic volumes, and speed thresholds were enough to warrant traffic calming on bowstring. As part of the discussions with the subdivision, ACHE, and I don't know if this was just this most recent time or if this has been part of the discussion in previous rounds of this conversation, but ACHG did offer, essentially said, if warrants are met on bowstring, then traffic calming would also be installed on Thornwood and Woodhaven. So bowstring was met. ACHG also offered to construct, in addition to bowstring, traffic calming on Thornwood and Woodhaven. Following that, in I believe August of this year, there was correspondence sent out to the affected residents on those segments to essentially vote yay or nay, whether they were in favor of the traffic calming being added. There's a 60% threshold that needs to be met, and that was not met on any of those segments.
So as Mr. Lancaster just said, the neighborhood in that regard does not want traffic calming.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Anything else?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Ballard?
some further data for Mr. Lancaster. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Hood or Mr. McClure. I noticed, notice a public hearing for a proposed subdivision when Magic View goes into Woodbridge on the east end. All I'm saying there is if that subdivision goes in, and I understand that 80 acres need to be developed in some fashion. That's not what I'm arguing. Any development of those, any portion of those remaining 80 acres will increase the traffic. So I do not know what the solution is, but traffic simply increases through that subdivision, in my opinion.
Mr. Lewis?
Excuse me, my mic was off there. So something else to consider, is that item 5 on the agenda is going to talk about the area covered by item 4 on the agenda. And in the in the materials for item 5, the study that's currently underway by the city, there's 14 pages of documents from the comp plan where this area was discussed intensely. So I don't think there's anything that we need to do at this time on item 4 because it's currently under study by the city's project.
Mr. Leclerc?
Thank you, Mr.
You're reaching
Chairman.
for the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The one item we could respond to, they've asked for the gate or a blocking of Magic View at the entrance of Woodbridge, the east. I think I think it'd be appropriate for us to say that will not happen.
You're talking on the west end,
East end.
east end.
Yeah, they have to get on Locust Grove. That's the west.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand where you're talking about. Are you on page 27 of our document, in the middle, it states the most common response we hear is, why don't they close your entrance on Magic View like all the other subdivisions on Locust Grove? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes,
Okay, and your comment about it was?
the city will not close that street in any case. ACHD will not close that street in any case. They seem to be holding out for that. And I just think it's never going to happen. It's an established public street for emergency vehicles, for whatever, we have a long list of reasons why that street would stay open. There's no way there's going to ever be a gate on it, and there's no way we're going to put up bollards to block it. And so that is one of the recommendations in their attached document that I think the city should be clear. We are not interested in that. We appreciate ACHD's efforts to offer traffic calming. That hasn't worked out, and we don't see that a blocking of Magic View into the east end of Woodbridge subdivision is a solution that's feasible.
Is Mr. Leclerc's synopsis correct? City staff and ACHD?
Commissioner Steve, Commissioner Leclerc, I'm under no ability to suggest that we do any of those things, but I would agree that it's a terrible idea and that we shouldn't do those things.
Mr. Brunner, if you wish.
Mr. Chair, yes, Commissioner Leclerc is correct. We're not going to put up a gate or bollards on an established public road.
Even if they are done in such a way to allow emergency vehicle access.
That is correct.
Okay. Commissioners, where does that leave us?
Mr. Chair, so
Mr. Ballard,
that takes me then to,
we're going to go to 5 in a moment. Item 5.
okay,
I'm trying to get done with 4.
very good.
Anything else on item 4, gentlemen? Okay, staff, you've got what little answer you're going to get. Moving along, item 5 on our agenda is Stratford to Touchmark feasibility study. And who's going to lead that one, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. My name is Carl Anderson. I'm the long-range associate planner here at the City of Meridian. I think I met some of you probably in March this year, just after I started pretty briefly. It's good to see you all again. So before you, we have Stratford to Touchmark feasibility study, and I'll provide the commission with an update on that study, this general overview of the scope, a little bit of history on some of the work that was done as part of the comprehensive plan. And we have some items too that we're hoping to get some feedback from the commission on. Also, if you can't hear me, feel free to give me your favorite baseball sign, just to let me know that I need to speak up. I'll do my best at talking to the mic here for you.
Do you need to work from the podium?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I'm okay here.
Okay.
Thank you. So just an overview, we'll just talk through the project, a review of some of the concepts that were done as part of the comprehensive plan back in 2017 to 2019, and then some discussion items there. So the study area, the overall study area is here in the blue dotted lines. This is from Meridian to about Touchmark, where it just kind of moves north and south. This is
Page 31 in our packet, correct? Bottom right corner?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. For a point of clarification, do you? Apologies, I thought we were all looking at the same presentation here, so we'll get that up for you. Should be able to see it, I believe, on your screens here.
Coming up, I think. Okay. Now we're with you. There you go.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you. So the expanded study area, just to reiterate, this is from Meridian to about Touchmark on the east and west boundaries in Franklin to the north and I-84 to the south. We've expanded the study area even for the focus area as well from some of that work that was done back in 2017 to kind of zoom out a little bit just from the prior focus that's detailed in those concept plans. The focus area is primarily along Stratford to Eagle, with a focus on improving connectivity between Stratford to Eagle Road, with the same north and south boundaries there. With an understanding, though, that what we're trying to connect is ISU, ICOM to St. Luke's, and also improve connectivity from Locust to Eagle. So general overview of the current project that the city is working on. So we issued an RFQ in the spring of 2025, ended up selecting Kittleson and Associates and Logan Simpson. Logan Simpson was the consultant who also worked with the city on the comprehensive planning work that was done in 2017 as well. You may notice that. There are 4 primary tasks that are identified, and what's attachment should be the first attachment to your packet, which is the scope of work. That's the scope of work that we're currently operating on for our project here. Project management's ongoing, plan review and transportation system inventory that is currently ongoing. We have received a draft land use analysis and some inventory from the consultant that we're working through, and we've provided comments to them. So that's currently underway. For community outreach, there's a few tasks there. We're currently working through some initial stakeholder outreach that you'll see in there. There's 5 interviews that we're working through. Some of those have been done in group settings. We've currently conducted 4 of the 5, and we're working on scheduling the 5th. In November, end of October, we do anticipate going out to do what we're calling a static open house for residents to be able to provide comment on some of the concepts that we're hoping to identify there. And then concept development and kind of a white paper format. So the focus, again, just to reiterate, is focused on transportation improvements that enhance local connectivity and efficiency in the area, enhance public services. A good portion, as you may know, of the area is currently still within Ada County, not incorporated. A lot of well and septic systems through that area as well. And support economic development. That's kind of that MedTech hub thoughts that you may have heard prior, but connecting ISU to St. Luke's and some of the medical office to the west and just improving that overall connectivity moving east and west in the area. One of the deliverables from the white paper will be evaluating potential connection to Stratford across Locust and Eagle to South Touchmark Way. So this would be hopefully having some, we'll start with 5. We're hoping to narrow it down to 3 concepts for potential residential collector that ultimately, if we are able to determine what the best potential alignment for a residential collector through the area would be, we'll work with ACHD and have that ideally included on the master street map. We do anticipate the final report being presented to council in December, January. So it really is a pretty quick timeline. We started work on this in about mid-July of this year, and been moving pretty quickly on that timeline. So this is, I'll go through what that second attachment is there. I think this context is important to highlight. There has been work done in the area prior. Some concepts were identified, and the city at the time was able to get some feedback from the public on some of that work, but also provide some good visuals for what those concepts may look like, and would like to get the commission's feedback on those as well. So as part of the comprehensive plan, and informing future land use decisions, there were, I think, 4 areas that were identified, with the Magic View Woodbridge area being one of those. And I'll pause right there for just a quick point of clarification. You'll hear Magic View Woodbridge project and Stratford to Touchmark used a little bit interchangeably. Really, Stratford Touchmark is just to try to recognize the overarching project area. It's not just focused and on the Magic View Woodbridge. And even further, it could be Meridian to Dutchmark to further clarify the overarching project boundaries. So the concepts that were identified, there were 2 public meetings.
Let me interrupt you one moment. You can see it. This document is from the 2017 comp plan work.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So the outreach that was done as part of the My Meridian specific area plan for the city's current comprehensive plan, there were 2 public meetings and online surveys that were done as part of that outreach. They had 130 event participants, 202 online participants, and over 40 comments that were submitted via email. I did include all of that in your packet to provide some context and refresher as far as what types of comments were being submitted for those areas. So I thought it would be good context for the commission to have as well. I'll just kind of walk through each of those concepts at the time, some of the general responses that were received, and then I'll put up our discussion items there as well. So the first concept was a regional focus with roadway realignment along the freeway, identified to maximize visibility. It was mixed use intended to support hotel and conference facilities, pads commercial to serve neighborhood, and medium density residential would be phased and oriented to buffer existing neighborhood. Concept 2 here is a Grand Boulevard. So this was more of a direct route, which is a Grand Boulevard and parallel greenway connecting mixed use areas to office and commercial. New park to encourage redevelopment. I believe as emphasized just about the center of your screen with the green star and the circle there. Roundabouts to manage traffic flow and phased housing to buffer existing neighborhoods. And the third was an urban enclave, provide opportunity for slow redevelopment, mixed use residential and non-residential to support office, residential and commercial uses, and new commercial center that serves locally and regionally. So overall of the participants of that outreach, the primary preference was concept 3, that final one, with 69% of respondents choosing that one, with the second being none of the concepts that were proposed. You'll see there as well, concepts 1 or 2 really made up a small portion of that pie. Before I move to our discussion, I do want to just touch on something that was brought up earlier. There are applications that the city has in the area. I'm not sure if they're at least one of them is on hold. I'm not sure what the status of the other one is, if they'll be on hold or not, but there is active development interest in some of that county enclaved area as well. Also, note was made to a project ACHD is working on, Wells Street Bridge, that's within this area as well. So there are active projects within the area that our consultants aware of and trying to consider as well. So there's some time sensitivity to this project as well. But I think that's important information for you as commissioners to have.
May I ask a question?
One moment. I have one first, please. Is it anticipated that Kittleson's work will result in either 1, 2, or 3? Or I don't know how much you've heard or whatever, and I know nothing. Or is there going to be a 4 and a 5 out there maybe before it's over? Just to get some feeling for this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I think it's anticipated that Kittleson may or may not have 3 of the same concepts from the prior work, or that there'll be 3 brand new concepts. You'll see in the scope, though, that we wanted to start with 5 and try to narrow it down to 3. They could be all 5 new. They could reuse some of the ideas from the prior work, depending on the current context of the area. So they may or may not change.
We shouldn't get too hung up on concept 1, 2, or 3 because they may or may not come back in the next 2 or 3 months.
Sure.
May or may not.
Sure, may or may not. I think it's fair. And Mr. Chair, members of the commission, our first item of discussion too is to receive feedback. If there are any of those concepts that the commission feels strongly about, we can forward those comments along to the commission as well. I've got my contact information too on the next slide. So if we aren't able to gather all of your verbal comments too, I'd be happy if you want to just email me separately, and I can take comments that way as well.
Mr. Ballard.
So, sir, item 5, concept 1, concept 2, concept 3, if I read the legend correctly, your white lines across there, those are either to build new roads or expand existing roads. Is that a correct reading?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Ballard, my understanding of the work that was done in 2017 is those white lines are intended to show what the roadway system could look like.
Okay. All right. So that's not necessarily what you're proposing, but that's what you're working from.
That's one point of context just to kind of show what was being there. It's likely that we would have something similar at the end of the day, not necessarily similar in the sense of the exact same line location, but as a concept to show where a potential residential collector could be located. And again, ultimately being shown on ACHD's master street map.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, any further questions before I kind of start walking through some of these discussion items?
Give us a moment. I'm looking to see, but I'm not seeing any one wishing to comment now, so please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the first item here is we'd be interested in, and I'll just read through each of these and then we can go through the slides as needed if there are any that you'd like me to pull up. But the first one is we're looking for feedback on previous residential collector alignments. So those are those 3 concepts, Commissioner Ballard, that you had referenced. Those 3 collector alignments proposed within attachment B to the packet for this item. Also looking, are there any specific improvement areas, opportunities that the commission's aware of the overall project area rather than, and it says entire, but really the alignment itself. So are there any other areas within that blue dotted line of our project scope that there's opportunities that that the commission would encourage staff, the consultant to explore, as well to improve overall connectivity in the area? And this third item here is, are there any areas of focus the commission would recommend in the overall project area, choke points, issues, types of points that we would forward to our consultants and staff to work through as well?
Commissioner Steed. Maybe just one other, and Carl has it in here, but just to reemphasize, the questions open to you now aren't just for the original concept area. The larger study area here, the focus area is on the table. So it can be west of Locust Grove too, or even east of Magic View.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman,
Lewis,
I might
please.
just have one comment, not in the, I guess, in the middle of the areas discussed, but my concern has always been the intersection of Eagle and St. Luke's. And I forget what the west leg of that intersection is called.
Alan.
Allen? Okay, that intersection has been a pain in the butt for as long as I've lived in this valley
Is that a
because,
technical term?
yes, pain in my backside.
Yes, okay, no, it's fine.
Because because the east-west legs are offset, that signal has always been operating in split phase, which is the least efficient form of traffic signal operation, and it's a bottleneck on Eagle Road. So whatever concepts come out of this, I think that those east and west legs need to be aligned through the intersection so that so that finally some efficient traffic signal operation can happen there.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, if I can ask a question,
Yes, sir.
I agree, but I go through that intersection quite regularly. I don't know if there's room to expand.
Well,
without taking out a
buying right
building.
of way. Yes, you're gonna have to buy somebody's right of way to do it. That's true.
And so I agree because everything chokes down to a right lane, a straight lane, a left lane. And if you're gonna put more traffic there and bring it from Locust Grove through that signal there all the way across to get to St. Luke's, that little segment's gonna have to be opened up in some fashion.
Yes.
Other comments? Mr. Leclerc?
Yes, thank you. Carl. It looks like on these that Magic View is the street in all the concepts that is the new collector. Am I,
Is that correct?
is that correct? I guess I don't have all the pieces in front of me. Verify. There it is there. And they're not really labeled. So that's Magic View, right? Where it connects to Eagle?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Leclerc, I do believe that is Magic View where it's connecting to Eagle. So if we're looking at the same presentation, concept one, kind of circled there in the yellow circle, that's going to be Magic View.
And is it
Woodbridge is not shown here on this concept. You know.
Yeah.
There we go.
on each of those three? It's the main, it's gonna use whatever collectors picked. Magic View is where traffic's gonna come out.
It's where you turn east, correct?
It's where you land on Eagle Road from this proposal.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Leclerc, that is where the prior concepts were appear to be showing that.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
so
I'm looking, no, go back to your map that you just had. There. Magic View on this map on the screen goes straight across east to west to Eagle. These three concepts do not go straight through. They go up to Allen, it looks like to
Do
me.
they? See, that's what I wasn't sure.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Leclerc, I do think that is a good catch, good point of clarification. I misspoke. It is shown here on the map, our planning map, East St. Luke Street at that intersection. Alan, thank you.
Up to the aforementioned pain in the backside intersection.
Correct.
Well, the reason I ask if it was a technical term, you are an engineer. I mean,
That, the intersection is also called wackadoo. That's a technical term too.
Mr. Leclerc, go ahead.
So as we go, okay, so Allen, so as we go east, it seems like that road doesn't go through to Touchmark, but can it? Is there right away there? I mean, it looks like it on this map that it could go straight east. But I think it bends south and misses the mark, kind of. I don't know. There's other land there that's undeveloped.
Commissioner Leclerc, you can get to Touchmark from St. Luke's Drive on the east side of Eagle Road.
Some St. Luke's to touch, yeah, but you have to, okay, I guess you can.
Just since there's
It's
some
just not
confusion,
straight.
Allen on the west, St. Luke's Drive on the east. Ada County considers them both St. Luke's, but
Okay,
use them synonymously. So Eagle, St. Luke's Drive and Allen, both are at the intersection there with the signal. That's as close as you can get to the interchange ramps. That road connects east all the way to Touchmark.
okay. Yeah, it does. It's just not. It could be straighter. So, so if we go, I don't know. It just seems like it's a lot of I guess I guess my feedback is let's do something. Because if we have a collector road that runs through there somehow, some way, that seems like that will take pressure out of Woodbridge. That to have it, you know, like they talk about Google Maps and all that directional stuff, that will direct people to the more, the lesser accessed new collector, whatever that route is. And it seems like away from the Woodbridge collector, which is where it is now. So I think we'll have some efficiency here and some better traffic flow with a new collector, however it's routed, as long as it's, you know, access is controlled. So that I'm just encouraging of the whole process is my feedback.
Other comments? You want to go back to your three questions there? Commissioners, any additional comments on any of the three on your screen? Looks like I can wait forever and not get anything else for you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think,
Whoa, Mr. Ballard says he's got something.
I think we've addressed those 3 points. Going 3 upwards, are there any areas of focus, choke points? We just discussed the potential choke point at Allen and Eagle. Okay. Are there any specific improvements the commission is aware of other than the alignment? None were discussed. Feedback on previous residential proposals contained in attachment B. So, and again, if that's the question, any one of the 3 probably would accomplish 2 things: relieve some pressure at Woodbridge and allow the undeveloped acreage there to be opened, and 3, to provide an access to get to St. Luke's Hospital between the medical school and the hospital.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have my email, phone number here as well for you. If after some thought and thinking about the area and some of the questions we have here, or if you have other feedback for that you think we should be considering part of this, please feel free to send me an email individually, and I can make sure that gets to our consultant and consider that as part of our review.
If your consultants have gotten anywhere that would give you reason to come back to us next month, please do so, or December, or January. I don't think our lack of voluminous information back to you is any indication of lack of interest. It may be a matter of too much information in the packet to understand exactly what we were supposed to be considering. So I'd invite you to bring something back when you have something to bring.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, moving along with my eye on the 2-hour clock. Don't want to go beyond that. Pine Avenue, Black Cat 10 Mile, speeding concerns. Mr. McClure, please.
Commissioner Steed, this is what I started to say earlier. So this was a discussion item during the last commission meeting. I reached out to ACHD and to the police department. They both provided comments that are in your packet. I don't have anything else specific for you.
Commissioners' comments on Pine Avenue, Black Cat to 10 Mile.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Lancaster, please.
so what's a mystery to me here is what is the current speed limit on this segment of road in question? And what are the measured or perceived operating speeds on the same section?
Mr. Bruner, any idea?
Mr. Chair, I don't know off the top of my head. Give me a moment. I can probably find what the posted speed limit is. As far as what is the perceived, I don't know. That would be a traffic engineering discussion. I don't know if they've had any specific studies on that in the past, but I can certainly see if I can track down the posted speed limit.
30 or 35 to my memory, but while he's doing that, I'll comment that the fact that Black Cat is closed to the north at Eustic. I know there's one car on the dais that won't go down Pine to get home today. I suspect it's like comments you get from the public. You need to multiply by some factor to realize there are more other there that didn't say anything. So I think anything we try to do at the moment could very well change once Black Cat gets opened up to the north and people start using it again, I would guess. But I think your question's certainly pertinent. But I think it's because of the work up at Eustic, which is hopefully going to get done before Christmas, things will change to whatever's going on right now. Give you enough time, Mr. Burner? Okay. I can prattle on longer if I need to.
Mr. Chair, apologies.
Mr. Lewis says, no, thank you.
For whatever reason, it's not showing in our GIS system. It's not actually posted here. I'm not sure exactly why, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of Google Earth, Google Street View research to see if I can spot a traffic sign.
Mr. Lancaster, that's the best answer you're going to get.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it sounds like this is a carryover item for you.
Others? Comments?
Commissioner Steed. Just a note, and this is GIS data from Ada County, but what they've stated, so not ACHD, Ada County. Ada County maintains the center lines in the valley, in the county. They say it's 35.
I would not be surprised, but I haven't driven it in months.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
well, that fits with, Pine east of right where we're sitting too. So, I mean, if you've got a speeding problem, there's one easy way to fix a speeding problem. It's increase the speed limit and then there's no more speeding. So,
I didn't say anything. Okay, are you suggesting we have this come back in a month or two or three?
yes.
Follow up on it?
When there's some data to talk about.
Okay. Mr. McClure, you making a note for that? Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda. Ex officio updates. Let's see. Anything else, Mr. Brunner, on your plate?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, not too much, just a quick update on the move in to the new Meeker's headquarters, new Meeker headquarters. That'll be, we're hoping to get occupancy, final occupancy by the end of this month and start moving groups over from the Adams location throughout next month and maybe the first week or two of December. And then that should put pretty much everyone in the new building. So that will be nice. And then also for the 5-year plan, That is, there's a work session going on between ACHG staff and the commission this Wednesday to kind of discuss public comment and agency comments, and then that will be adopted. Meeting for adoption is on October 22nd, and that is a night meeting. That's it from ACHD.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, your staying power is awesome.
Well, thank
I
you.
hope you've got something to tell us after all this time.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So for the Compass update, I will keep it brief looking at the time. I will skip over our carbon reduction strategy, resilience improvement plan, and regional waterway pathway plan. These are all three long-range transportation planning efforts we are working on. However, they will not be completed prior to the next meeting. So I'll save those updates a little bit later. You may be aware, seeing I saw you a little bit earlier today, but the one big item that our board did take an action on since we last spoke was regarding Let's Ride Treasure Valley, our regional high-capacity transit planning and environmental linkages study. In their August meeting, the Compass Board of Directors did accept what we are calling commuter rail on the Boise cutoff. So this is a rail alternative that starts along the Union Pacific Main Line in Caldwell, continuing down into Nampa, and then turning off onto the short line cutoff, which is this rail line right here out front of these offices. Following that from Nampa through Meridian and then into the city of Boise as the local preliminary locally preferred alternative, my apologies, for this planning and environmental linkages study. If you would like to discuss more, I can give certainly a much more robust presentation on it. I did also speak earlier today at Valley Regional Transit for the Compass Board presentation from August, if you want to go back and see a few other things. But currently where we are at on the project, now that we have the designated route and mode, our consultant team, we have HDR and Jacobs working on this project, are drafting the implementation component of this study to look at what is ideal phasing, continuing to work with Pacific on how we could sort of issue this in a step or two here or there rather than trying to take on the whole project at once, and how that could be viable for our region. So that will be coming back to our board of directors in February. I'm glad to provide more information when the time comes. With that, that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Carson, have you joined us?
Commissioner Steed, Miranda was here, but she had to leave for another priority.
Okay, and Kate Dahl checked out earlier. Mr. Price, are you with us?
So, Mr. Chair, Mr. Price sent me and Commissioner Lancaster an email saying he had to jump to about 10 or 15 minutes ago.
Good, because I'm actually going to get this done in the 1 minute we got left, I think. Is Miss Smith with us? Sergeant Smith. It completes the ex officio updates. Any other staff communications? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a motion from Mr. I went blank. You, Lewis?
Yes.
Second by? Second. Mr. Leclerc? All in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody want to stay? We're out of here. Thank you all. If it hadn't been for the 2-hour time limit, I'd have kept us here till 6:30.
Rated great. Constitution. 12/120 Corinth Street. And a lot of litigation. And there was an extensive.
Maybe what?
Yeah. Oxford Common's great.
You know,
I think,
whatever.
did they
Love
bust
it.
me? Maybe?
Yeah.
Did they use